This show off with a bang here and get started. So here we go. And now, introducing the World Studio Tour. Welcome, everybody. Hey.
Hi.
We're happy to have you, and let's get to our main shot. Sorry about that. It's the first ever episode of the World Studio Tour Live.
Yes, welcome to PTZOptics Live. We are live every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
And today is the first ever live studio tour. The way this is going to work is every single week we are going to take you to a new studio to tour around the world. And today we're actually taking you to Hillsdale, Michigan, where Scott Pienta has a mobile live streaming truck that we're going to be looking at.
First I'll ever have been able to kind of see from the inside besides just photos. So
this is going to be super cool. Every week, and then the first Friday of every month, I'll be telling you a little bit more about our Grow Your Show tour. But first, let's hear from Tess of a little social media update.
Welcome everyone. Let's pull up my Facebook link. So I keep pushing the Facebook user group on you guys, but it really is the best place to learn more about our products and get great information, tips and tricks, and everything you need to know about our shows. As you can see, customers are sharing pictures of their cameras implemented in whatever use case they have, and everyone's really open to answer questions, and it's a great place to kind of meet friends who are interested in this kind of stuff. There was one picture that I really wanted to share with you guys because I thought it was really good for today's topic. Our friend Jason, who recently won a Z-Cam, just recently got his camera in. He's already putting a different lens on it, which was really cool because you can change out the lenses on the Z-Cam. And it just happened to be placed over top of a map, which I thought was perfect for today's World Studio Tour. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jason, and make sure that you are entering the Facebook user group and sharing your photos with us as well so we can share it on the show. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I forgot about Instagram. Poor Instagram. We are starting to dip our toes into Instagram, so we have an Instagram page. Something that we've been doing lately is thinking about weddings, the possibility of live streaming weddings. Today we were just doing some commercial behind the scenes shots of us trying to explain to you guys how weddings can be live streamed and why you might think about doing that. That's my story from earlier today.
Woo, thank you, Tess. Yes, we're going to be bringing you some really great stuff coming out soon. The Grow Your Show is the first Friday of every month. I keep reminding everyone this. If you have a PTZOptics, this is just for PTZOptics customers. If you've got a PTZOptics camera and you'd like to join, we're going to have 3 customers per show. And you come on, you show us your studio, kind of like the studio tour, but you're saying why you need just one additional camera. And that additional camera would be any of our Z-Cams, or you can substitute for a joystick. And then the audience is going to vote to see who they think deserves the free camera the most. And we'll go ahead and do a live vote using vMix data sources. We've done that before, and it works pretty well. So we're excited about that.
Facebook is hearing a buzz again.
Ay, ay, ay.
We are really buzzing today.
We changed our cables. We are redoing the entire studio, so maybe we'll fix it at that point. But let's introduce you, without further ado, to Scott Pienta, who is going to take us on his studio tour. Hi, Scott. How you doing?
Hey. Hey, guys, everybody. Wow, I tell you what, you got my name right. That's a big one.
Really?
And
that might be a first
million
for
different
us,
ways.
Too. That's too funny.
So, yeah, thanks for having me on the World Studio Tour. Episode 1, I must be special.
You are.
I think that's what my wife calls me anyway, special. So, yeah, we got, I do have a production van. It's just a small van. I can show you a quick picture of it real quick here. So that's kind of the outside of the van. It's just a GMC Savannah 2500. And I chose this van because my job is kind of the same way. I have a GMC Savannah at my job as well. I'm a engineer, director of audio video for a college in Michigan.
Wow.
So, you know, we have a van. It's actually just a little more extended than mine. They look identical. They're just about a year apart. And I realized early on that I love that van because of the removable bench seating. So that being said, I'll give you a shot from my PTZ cam, maybe, if my cam wants to work here. There it goes. So this is my PTZ cam right here that we use for our cutaway shots. And it is, this is the inside of our van. We can actually seat 2 people in here. We actually have a person that's, I'm actually turned sideways right now how I'm producing this so I could get a shot of the side cam, and I just threw a webcam in here because we don't normally broadcast out of here. So another person sits here. Now if you notice, my bench is made out of wood, and that is because I didn't know what I wanted at first. I didn't, this whole section right here was added in the last few months. This part has been changed 6 times. We've changed it, we've added things, we've moved the monitors around, we've done all kinds of different things trying to figure out the proper configuration, because really we're the back of the monitors is the back seat, so we can actually fit our entire crew in here. When we go to away games, we can fit 5 people in the van, 3 in the bench seat, and then the 2 up front. So we have a full operation when we go, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to lug for our games, at least lug most of the people with us and be able to do a decent game with our cameras. So we have our 3 camera operators. We have our 3 camera operators. We have our 2 at the 35s, and then 1 sideline, and then we have 1 working on graphics or whatever else. And she or he, whomever is going to be doing it that day, sits right here. And we have a laptop that connects right up to the network that's built into the system here, and that's how we communicate. We have our headsets right here that we used to communicate with everybody, and they are all controlled. We did a little different. You know, we're going to be going to an ATEM system, and the nice thing about it is one of the things I've built in here is a drawer. Couple drawers actually, and I should move my camera down so you can see that. And let me get a couple things out. So what we have is radios, Motorola HT1000s. I've posted this on a few different groups, but we use the Motorola HT1000. I got this idea from a friend of mine that films for NASCAR. He actually runs the truck that puts the in-car cameras on the NASCARs. So this is what they use for their camera ops. Same exact model, same exact everything. Headsets are different. They use who do they use? I can't think of her name. Hammond, I think. But anyways, other than that, it's exactly the same. We have a cable that goes to, well, I use this one in the truck. It's easier than a headset for me, because I'm usually talking to, or that's the same one. I'm usually talking to the camera ops and my graphics person. So this just snaps on. It's one thing I love about this HT1000. It's very versatile. So we use this for connecting to the headsets to the radio, but we also have talent sometimes down on the field doing an interview, or we do a talk show. If I can get that right here, I'm trying to grab it, and I'm not grabbing it. Over here, I got them all hanging up on the back here, which I'm going to have to put them all back. Over here is another one. Now this one you can put around, I have to clean it back off, but usually you can take it, wrap it around their ear, and stick it in. So now it's more of a hidden set. They put the clip behind the ear, and then they can still talk to the crew. You can give them their cues, when they're on, when they're off, anything else, and it's a nice hidden way to do things. So that's one of the reasons that I love this, is for that reason. It's very versatile. It's very easy to operate and upgrade, downgrade, change, all of that stuff. So that's our communications, is the radios. The only thing you have to make sure you have, if you ever use these, is you have a license. If you don't have a license, then you need to get them changed in bandwidth, and these can do both bands. So yeah, because these are really a police radio, old police radio. So they've got a wide band. You have to change the band on them. So you have to make sure you send it to the right person to get the band changed. There's a guy on eBay I sent him to, and he did a great job. Turned him around in a day and exactly what I wanted. So he only charged me like $22 a radio, something like that.
Wow.
So just be aware of that if you get a radio, that you might need to get a license if you don't change the bandwidth. So that's I have an FCC license, but if I'm never with the radios, then it becomes a problem, and I didn't want that. So we sent that out to get them changed. But we have everything in here on, let me see if I get this working. I didn't program my PTZ camera prior to firing it up here. Sorry. But anyways, I'll show it to you in a second here. I'll get it moved. But down below, I have my chargers at the very bottom. And they charge on my radios, they charge my camera batteries, they charge everything. I mean, I've got a full rack here with multiple plugins, and everything is kind of centrally located. Everything looks kind of a mess right now because it's not really set up for, I just hurry up and open this up before the show, and I'm like, I'll do the show here and you know,
I'm glad you did.
Answer any questions that people have. So somebody's been in the process of building an audio video truck. You know, one of the things I'm getting ready to do, we are going to keep the production van. This is actually going to get changed to metal. I've got a metal fabricator. I think I've come up with a solution that I like, that works. It's very functional, and you can fit 2 people in here and still have room to move around. You're not like stepping on each other. But we're going to upgrade this to a production trailer. And we're still going to keep the van low. The concept is the van can go out and do a 3, 4, 5 camera shoot,
right?
Still, and transport the people, the whole 9 yards, and then the trailer will do an 8, 9, 10 person shoot with 6, 7, 8 cameras.
Good for you.
So we're stepping it up a notch. You know, we've only been doing this a year, so
really?
It's been we started this time, or just right at the beginning of football season, about a week before football season started last year, and since then we have invested. We've got $25,000 into the van and a few other things outside the van. You know, between cameras and all that. Our cameras are a couple of our cameras here. Our sideline camera here is right here. Is our sideline camera. It's our SONY HXR camera. Then we have a couple of these for our 35 on the 35-yard line. They have the sun shields, the batteries off and everything. That's why they're all disconnected for charging the batteries. But these pop open, maybe if I can get my fingers the right way, and you have your you have your viewfinder to protect, or for sunshade for your cam ops. So you know, we built these to make it easier for our cam ops. Just as when they leave the truck, they're already wired and ready to go. They just slap them on the tripod, so they work pretty quick and pretty easily. We run SDI out to our cameras currently. We are planning on changing to fiber. That is one of the upgrades. I do have the space in here for 2 of the ADAM Systems studios to go in here for our longer runs. We just signed yesterday a college baseball team to stream their games. So we're going to be doing that next season. Or this, I guess it's this season, but it's next year is when they're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a home run derby next Friday. We're going to be using actually this camera that I'm looking at right now. That's going to be going out onto the field for the home run derby.
So it's not just the university you work for.
No, I do a lot of stuff on all of this stuff. Hometown Media Network is all me on the side. So that's everything that I've done on the side. So
I wanted to put you kind of here on the
university
map, Scott, so people can see where you are. Here's our office in Philadelphia, and we'll zoom out And here we are in Hillsdale, Michigan, right?
Yeah, and that's where my big studio is. And if you stayed on that, you could see where I just over the street there is where I work. And so, you know, we're doing these things. Now the college has completely different equipment. We've got the big Panasonic cameras, the whole 9 yards, and I think I've even shared some of those pictures. Our cameras at the college are about $29,000 a piece. So they're a completely different animal. We use a Broadcast Pix Granite 5000 for our switcher in the main control room, and in the fly pack we use a Granite 1100. We have 2 3-plays. You know, they have a completely different budget. The donor that funded that, her family founded Grass Valley, so the money was, you know, they're pretty well known in the industry. Anybody does anything with switching or anything in film probably used or has used Grass Valley. So I've been new to this industry. I've come from the audio video world, as far as putting it in people's houses, putting it in businesses, installing it, and not really producing it. So producing only happened when I started at the college about 4 years ago. And no, I am not using generators for any power. Right now I'm getting my all my power from the venues. We are going to be putting in a generator in the production van, or production trailer, just for that reason, because it's going to be pulling a little more power than normal. This one here is pretty set, and I'm okay off of a 20 amp circuit.
What about internet?
So internet, because the MHSAA, Michigan High School Athletic Association, does not allow live streaming of events. It is minimum 1 hour tape delay after the event ends. I don't need it.
So you record it.
That is one of the bummers about Michigan. We record it and then we play it out afterwards.
Okay.
So there is a loophole in Michigan which we are going to exploit, like anybody else would, and it's not doing anything, breaking any of the laws, but this has been a project that we are going to do. We want to get more students into this, and
Right,
high schools and other things into it. So the Michigan loophole is that you can stream games live if it's produced 60% or more by high school students.
And you can have
So
interns and
Yep, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to allow them to come into our new studio that we're going to be building. We're going to be currently, like I said, we've spent about $25,000 between all the gear and everything that we've got into the van, purchase of the van. I bought the van as the cheapest of the thing. It was only $5,000. I bought it for $5,000 cash, and I was out the door. But we're getting ready to buy. I get hired to do a lot of design and construction and audio video work all over, and the county hires me. We're doing some county videos for the economic development group for Hillsdale County. We're doing some training videos. Then we are also they don't have any Grass Valley. They don't have any Grass Valley switchers.
he's good at keeping an eye on the
Joey
chat.
I'm quick.
Well,
So,
show us what you want to show us, Scott,
we
and then
don't-
in the post show it's going to be all Q&A. So show us
Okay,
all the
I'll do
toys,
that.
all the goodies, and then we'll go.
All right.
All we'll do is
So
answer questions.
we
in the
use
chat.
of course an APC Mini. Let me remember which camera I'm on. It's kind of twisted up here, and I also use, which Dan would be happy with, and if I can get it unhooked from my cable here, or my drawer, is my
the
xKeys.
Nice.
I use that for my control. The thing that I don't love, and I think there was some comment about this, and Dan even mentioned it, and I kind of mentioned it, is that they can't control the zoom with the Z control, and it's not a smooth motion for control, and that's one of the two frustrations. If you're going to use this, I see in the group that you asked about if you used a man or motion. The problem, or PTZ, the PTZ I use a lot for those cutaways, because when it's jerky, or if somebody picks up speed, like we're following a player off the field and all of a sudden he stops, we can stop with him. But if he takes off again, sometimes our cameras have to catch up to him, because we have to, in vMix you have to set your speed of your PTZ to make it move and make it look somewhat realistic. But the problem is you don't have that individual control, which I wish they would, because they go from 0 to 125. I think it's 125 on the voltage. So if that registers that voltage or that change on how much you're giving the stick, it should adjust that in the PTZ as well. The PTZ, I feel, should be able to adjust that. So, but for now, the way it works is we have pre-designed shots on the field. Some are like for field gold. What we're eventually going to do with our PTZOptics cameras, I'm designing 2 goalpost cams, or 2 goalpost stands, I should say. And we're going to put one of the PTZs on each goalpost up about 27 feet, and get that, that wide shot, tunnel vision shot of the stadium. So that way it's nice, and you can give a telestrator to our announcers, and they can jot down, runs or what the play should look like, or we can spin the action, so we can do a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's just going to give us that depth of field that we didn't have before. And the goal, and that's why we need the trailer, because we're going to have more people in the trailer. We're going to have 4 people in the trailer instead of 2. We're going to have a director. We're going to have our graphics, which we're upgrading to New Blue Effects. And we're going to have our instant replay person, and then we're going to have our person that is operating 2 to 3 PTZOptics cameras.
Nice. Does everything
one for the
come
cutaways,
out?
one going out of action.
Yeah, sorry. Does everything come
Out of the van? Everything.
or-
It can. Everything can come in the van. Now that I put this new addition on, it's not as easy. It's a little more of a pain, because I have them the 2 connected for keeping everything still. But when I originally designed this, and you're talking about weddings, I DJ, and I still do part-time just for having fun. And I just did a wedding last weekend. I got a West weekend, and I got homecoming this weekend, so I had to give I have to give a wedding to another DJ friend of mine. So, and next year, February 16th, I have to look at the date, we are live streaming a wedding, and we are using PTZOptics cameras.
Oh, you got to show us
yeah.
that.
We're going to have to chat
Yeah,
about that.
it'll be a good one. Yeah, so she hired us about last month, and wants us to stream her, because her family's from all in Texas and everything else, so they won't all be able to come. So we're going to stream the wedding, and
How about
get all that going. We do
We're
have...
not wrong, I guess.
Everybody
Yeah,
else
no,
thinks we're
that is
crazy.
starting to happen. And that's why the production van's so important. We just actually did at this wedding. The best man couldn't make it because he's in the service down in Florida, and they just got hit with a hurricane, so they weren't
my
letting anybody
gosh.
go. So what we did was he made a video for everybody, and I happen to have my van. That's why I could pull everything out, so I could put my DJ equipment in here, but now it's a pain, but I could still get it in. So anyways, what we did before, or what I did was I connected up the van, and it looked like the video that people had seen, except for the groom. And he kind of did the same thing. He kind of talked the same way, and then he started making comments about people in the room, and nobody knew that it was live. He could see him, so which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
So that made it even, that gave it more depth, and I was controlling it all from my iPhone, or my Android phone. So that way it was connected to the truck. It was parked outside, and we were just bringing it in. I just brought a small camera, I just put it in the corner, and nobody even noticed it. And it just looked like part of my DJ equipment, so nobody even noticed it behind the lights.
And if
So
you
they
record that
thought was pretty cool.
footage, you can sort of play videographer and compile a nice edited, memory for the couple too.
Yep, and she's hired us to video art. We paired that with our services to, and I don't try to DJ too much anymore because I got too much on my plate as it is.
Yeah, you seem like a
It's
hustler.
more of, I like to do it. Yeah, I am a hustler. I lived out there on the East Coast for years, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had to hustle to stay alive out there, So one of our new purchases, just like anybody else, is the new Tech Spark.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you got the
We've been
Spark.
playing around with it a lot. Yeah, it is very easy to hook up and very easy to connect, but the problem we had was when you don't have a network connection. That's what
Right.
took the little bit of finagling to get it connected, because this thing will fire up in 2 seconds when you have an internet connection. If you don't have an internet connection, you really have to know how to move in and out. It took me almost 2 hours to get it to go last night without an internet, because when I go out to the games, a lot of times I don't have internet. So, you know, I rely on my network, and I figured, well, if this is a network device, it should connect into any network and be fine. But that's not how this was designed, evidently. So I'm going to call NewTek. That's one of my calls, because I wish that it would connect just as easy without internet as it does with internet. So, but we're going to try it tonight at the football game. We were going to use it last night for our sideline cam, because we would like to get a second one of these and put it on our second sideline cam, or use it for the PTZ cams out at the for the field goal. Yeah. So, you know, we've got a lot of just little toys.
So Scott, I'm going to roll the credits. I am sure there's going to be a ton of questions, and then we're going to go right into, there's a live giveaway. Tess is going to spin the wheel.
That, and then we're going to get into Q&A for you.
The Q&A. So here we go. Got a new little Q&A style finish. All right, so this is the camera for... This one doesn't count. This is a little bit...
What's wrong?
Turn the music off by accident. It's a little... this shot was a little too... I guess it was like... Anyway, we'll do that next time. All right.
Time for the
giveaway. So, as you guys may know, we have a live giveaway today. A spin to win.
Another spin to win. We are going to draw a winner off Gleam, and then we're going to spin for them. So Paul is drawing the winner right now.
Here we go. People seem to really love the spin to win. You do have to be here, obviously, as you may know. All right.
To be in the chat to claim your prize.
The winner
Joe Calabrese.
Joe Calabrese.
Joe Calabrese. Let us know if you're
here. I feel like
here.
Joe has won before, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and get back into the show. As soon as he's ready, we're going to spin this wheel. And it's going to be fun. And we'll get into that. But so Scott's been hitting us up with a lot of amazing information. I can't believe that you do weddings, Scott, because that's something I've been asked to do, a wedding just for a friend. And me and Tess were thinking about it, talking about it. Jeez, there's got to be a ton of people who want to live stream weddings too, you know, for people that can't make it.
You have to know weddings are tough. They're not actually as tough as some events. You just have to make sure you do them right. But you know, I started doing DJing and lighting and stuff like that, and I still do shows. What I didn't show you was some of my shots. I'm so sorry about that. So this
let's one sec, Scott. Let's spin the wheel for Joe.
Yeah, we'll finish this up. See what Joe's going to win.
Go ahead and spin. I want Tess to spin it because I don't want to be responsible for the win.
Hold on, you're covering him.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, spin.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Ready? I'll get
rather
a
have
good
you
spin
spin
this
it
time.
than
1,
me.
2, 3.
Oh my! Okay, Tess is making up for last time.
I know. Last time I had a lame
Put her on Wheel of Fortune.
I know. I call myself Vanna 2.0.
Chat Connect Pro. Woo! So
Is
you can
that
do
another Chat Connect
that.
Pro?
What we can do. So we will get you that, Joe. Congratulations, you won Chat Connect Pro. That's our WordPress plugin, which is it's really great for vMix because it brings the JSON in from YouTube and Facebook. Congratulations. All right, sorry about that, Scott. What are we talking about here?
Show us the good stuff.
Oh, show you the good stuff. I'm just relaxing in my van here. So I'm going to be, if you hear the fan going, I got some fans going so I didn't have to run the truck.
Okay.
Yeah, you've probably seen a fan in the back here. I got 2 of them. One's just running right now. So this is, which event is this? I don't remember. This is what I do at the college. I mean, I get hired to do not only at the college but all over. But let me see if it's going to work well for you guys. It's been sitting in idle for a little bit here. Come on, and it doesn't want to play now. Well, we'll go to this one. Hopefully that one works. So this is the one we did last year, and they both don't want to do it. They both want to refresh.
What?
Let me do that. I tell you, it's always technology. I've been
That
sitting
is
idle for a little
technology
bit.
for
Let me
you.
reload the page.
Trust me,
There we go.
we hear you there.
And you're an
Let
IT
me reload
manager,
the page,
so
and we'll.
you know it's constant.
This is a group. Yeah, I know. This is a group we did.
Wow.
This group, they came. We did a show. We did. This is cameras. We did the sound, lighting, basically everything. We did the whole production. Now, this group was a finalist on America's Got Talent 2 seasons ago.
Wow.
So we film it. We put them up on like some big screens so everybody can kind of watch and see what's going on. Let me see if I can fast forward to a different part of the event. But these are some PTZOptic cams. We put 2 of them out. So we got different shots. There's a
Ooh,
drum
I like
cam.
that's the
It's a
behind
little
the
camera. That's
drum
actually
cam.
my camera that I'm. Yeah, it's the camera I'm talking to you on right now. It's just a little Logitech 920 we put behind the set. Let me load this one up here, and we'll show you this other one. This one here. This was this year's, so we'll keep the audio down on this. Sometimes I can't control what comes out of these guys' mouths. They were a little vulgar in a couple spots, so I'll turn them down. Yeah, it was. So this was this year's. Let me get to them.
Where should people go to find some of your work? We had some questions.
And I wanted to show
They
this
can
picture,
go
Scott.
to. Yep, that's actually the event that I'm showing you. That was done. We do a welcome party. So what we do is we do a welcome party for students, and that is part of that welcome party. They put on bands and stuff like that, and this is the show we put on at the end of the year for the students. They brought these DJs in from California or something, and then we design the lights, and I give it to the students to put the light show together. I just tell them what I want and how I want it to look, and they design it. But with these 2 cameras that what you're seeing right now is we have 2 cameras that were out front, kind of like you just seen in that last picture. We put them out front by me at the soundboard. We actually had to pull them down as we got closer into that night because it was, as you can see how many people in there. The college that I work at is only 1,700 students. I think there was 2,500 students in that tent because we put out a tent every year because you never know what the weather's going to be like. I mean, it was packed. People are knocking things over. They knocked over the cameras, and so we are like, okay, we got to pull them down now. It just got to be
Too crazy. Rowdy.
too dangerous to do
What?
that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. I had that. Well, the DJs are running around and they're doing their show, and we had it all tied down. But so, this is the van. Like I said, we bought this van 2 reasons. As you notice, it has doors on the driver's side and back doors on the driver's side, and it has them on the passenger side. If you open the doors on both sides, you can actually access the controls. That's where we plug all our equipment in. We have hooks on one side that we hang our cables on, and the other side is where we plug all our network. All our network connections are there. We just have jacks on the side where people can go to the game and plug some stuff in. This is another game that we just did here. This was done by a PTZ cam. This was actually a few weeks back. At a football game that we did. Now, Hometown Media Sports, I started out Hillsdale TV, and we changed to Hometown Media Network for a couple reasons. The biggest reason is we're going to take this nationwide, what we're doing.
Really?
The biggest thing, what we're doing and what we've been quietly doing, is we've been building up our retailers and our stuff. We sell PTZOptics, we sell New Blue Effects, we sell just about everything in this truck, microphones, cables, the whole 9 yards, not and a couple of cameras. The goal is to, I'm not the only one wanting to do this, and you have people out there, as you know, because you're doing shows of World Studio Tours. There's a lot of guys that are trying to take it to a 24/7 channel, which we're very close to doing. What we've worked out is when I changed to Hometown Media Network, because we're going to be moving into another town just over the line, about 30 minutes away, and we got another town 30 minutes the opposite way. We're going to take over both those towns and filming. And the biggest thing that everybody says that they don't have is content. People just do not have content. They can't. It's hard to keep a 24/7 channel running with no content.
Yeah.
Well, at Hometown Media Network, we're going to take care of that for you. For the last year, I've been negotiating contracts with other shows, fishing shows, hunting shows, some stuff at Cabela's, some sports shows, talk shows that are produced, that are well produced. They're not like, just we're streaming. Some are going to be canned, some are going to be live, and we're going to stream that content 24/7, 7 days a week, and we're going to sell affiliates all over the country for them to cut in and cut out their games, so they can sell their advertising as an affiliate. They'll be able to use our feed and cut to their football game or their local event or whatever's going on when the time comes for them to show their event. For us, the stream continues no matter what, and
Right.
That's how it's gonna work. So
Wow.
the system's pretty in depth, because my system will trigger their system to run their advertising. So if it's a small budget operation like myself right now, right now I'm a small budget operation. A friend of mine who makes a product, if you're a hunter, it's known as Lucky Buck. He is a friend of mine, and I've got a few other friends like him, but David and I have been talking, and I said, I'm thinking about expanding this thing out, David. What do you think? And he says, how much money do you need? So, we're getting ready to really turn this thing into a completely different animal. So,
Wow.
answered
I'm
any
so
questions that I
happy
can.
for you.
I will be happy to answer.
That is
we're gonna
such a good idea.
It's going to be pretty interesting as we grow it out.
Yeah. Joey says, on a concert, do you run front of house mix and video mix? Are they the same mix or two
No.
mixes?
Well, on the front of house, we don't do a monitor mix. We do a monitor mix, but we do it through the sound system. And then what I'll usually take is my mono out of one of my extra channels and my subgroup out, if you're anything about audio. But I'll take it out of one of my subgroups that I'll create and send all that audio out to them in post to a single feed into the truck. So yeah, I'll run my front of house completely independent. I can send them with effects or without. I usually send it with effects, because that way people get the full effect of the show.
Right.
But we just send it into the truck on one single line into the truck.
Wow.
Nice.
I love to hear the overall future plans that you have, Scott, because I was thinking mobile studio tour, the van. I was not thinking the next town, the 24/7, the content. So you
Yeah,
really
I've
thought
got-
this way beyond just your truck.
Yeah, this has been a thought process for a year. I heard Jim Jacobs when we were speaking down at StreamCon, and I knew what I was going to do then. I kind of led on to it a little bit, but I didn't tell everybody, because it was the issue was I was working out was that small detail of how to get my system to trigger all of these affiliates nationwide, and we've worked that out. It is not a so what we're doing at Hometown Media. Everybody can still have their channel, their Hillsdale TVs, their R&B productions, their whatever they want to call themselves, PTZOptics shows. They can have those shows, but they're all part of the Hometown Media Network, because, Paul Richards and Tess, just with their Westchester, Pennsylvania viewers, which is, Westchester's got about 6,000-7,000 people in there with the college, and then if you go out to Melbourne and Fraser and King of Prussia and all that stuff, then you got a lot more people. Let's say you got 20,000 people in around you guys. Well, you're not going to get a big advertiser for 20,000 viewers like Home Depot or Menards or Panera. They're not going to talk to you. But if you're part of the Hometown Media Network and you have Menard, you have Westchester, you have Hillsdale, you have Adrian, you have Coldwater, you have Mobile, Alabama, you have Wilmington, Delaware. You have all these little mom and pops that have come together under the Hometown Media Network. Then we get to use those larger numbers to buy bigger productions, to get more advertising dollars, and to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
that's what fuels it and creates that money that is needed to buy the better shows and to do the larger productions.
Mhm.
So now we can actually take our bigger production. We're going to create a larger studio and go to all of our events. We're going to create several of them. And our partners, our affiliates, will actually take them and go out and do games or
Jeez,
whatever
this
else
is so
needed.
much more exciting than I was realizing, because we're building a new studio here, and a lot of, I think, our viewers have seen that we're like a little teeny nook inside a big conference room, and we are going to be totally building a brand new studio from the ground up and hopefully bring the production value up quite a bit. And when we do that, yes, we would want to be part of a bigger network and grow our our audience. So that's such a great idea.
Yeah, and that's what the goal is not everybody will have something for everything, but if the goal is we are a one-stop shop for our affiliates. We sell them the cameras, we sell them the software, we sell them whatever they need at a reduced price because they're part of our network. And we put strict requirements on proper filming techniques. We put them on what can be used, what can't be used. If there's a problem, we all work it out, and we'll help them with their sales. And the other thing they're going to get with our group is we've actually hired some graphic designers and Adobe After Effects and Premiere, and this is what they do: create video things, teasers, trailers, and all that stuff that's going along with it. So it's more than just a small group of people. My goal is to be like ABC, the nationwide channel, the national channel, and then there's a bunch of little ABC affiliates all over the country. We're going to do the same thing. It's how we're going to roll this out. So it's going to be interesting in the next year as we really push this. We're trying to get through Halloween right now because we're doing some side work right now to buy some more equipment, and then David and I will sit down and come up with a game plan on how much money is needed to make this thing happen. I already know, but we're going to sit down and find out what his partnership's going to be involved and how much money and all that fun stuff he wants to invest.
Great. Joey says, how many cameras do you use for your football games, and how many are PTZ cameras?
Right now for our football games, we have one PTZ camera we place at the 50-yard line. Then we put, and that's if we have time. Sometimes we don't have time, or the press box is so small you have to go outside and change your mind. So we do 3 cameras no matter what. All 3 are manned, and then 1 PTZ unmanned.
Nice.
The future plans are 3 PTZs and 3 or 4 manned cameras.
Wow.
Ted says, what is a network and local affiliate split in terms of minutes per hour and dollars? And money?
Well, the way we're going to look at an affiliate is it's just like any other franchise. You're going to have to pay a franchise fee. That's how we buy these shows, because some of these shows are not cheap. Some are $1,000 an episode or above. So it depends on how many affiliates we have. Person doing it by themselves might not be able to afford $1,000 an episode, but 50 guys all chipping his hometown media network. That way we're not breaking the restrictions and how we use the video and share the video amongst all of us. Then it's a lot more affordable. So that's how we're going to do it, and that's why we're doing it that way.
Great.
Very interesting.
Are you looking for broadcast affiliates, or are you looking for people who have locally oriented streaming operations?
Both. We're looking for both because we are talking to a gentleman, Ken, who does the town over from me. He does the Adrian Bulldogs, and he shared some pictures on them. So I talked to Ken. I've been in there. I filmed some stuff over at their stadium for the Hillsdale when I did some stuff over there for them, and we were going to talk to them in another couple of years, or a year and a half roughly. But he's already over there. I can't film everything. You can't do it all. So
Right.
why try to reinvent the wheel? Just use somebody, you give them more exposure. So here's the win-win. Ken can charge them whatever he wants to charge them, whether it's $1,000 a game, $2,000 a game, or $3,000 a game. What he's going to get in return is the hometown media network, which could be, 50 cities and 200,000 viewers, and that's what they're going to get. So now, it's free advertising for that college. So I'm willing to bet that those Division 2, 3 schools that don't get the viewership like the Division 1s do, will be more apt to hire streamers, and we can use their video.
Yeah.
What an interesting plan and thought process. It's one of those things where, it seems like, wow, you're so far along with something like this. And what I've learned, doing a lot of the stuff in the past, is that you really have to get your hands dirty and live stream football games and live stream weddings and do DJ sets to realize how big the opportunity for live streaming is. I feel like people that might be watching this show, are saying, wow, this is a cool live show, but maybe have never live streamed an event themselves, or people that have live streamed a few events themselves. Like Tess got started, she's only been doing this for 8 months. She already live streamed to hundreds of thousands of people with her own live show. So, I mean, it's like people, a lot of people are dipping their toes in. When you jump in like Scott has here, and you jump in and you've been doing it for years and you've got your production studio. Now Scott's at the point where he's starting to do additional cities and additional rollout plans, a nationwide idea. And these things, they start small and they snowball. And there's a good reason for it. The money's there. Cash flow is the oxygen for every business. And if you have cash flow, you can start creating ideas, making investments, and things just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and you're not limiting yourself.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. There are some comments on some of the Facebook groups that you can't make money off of high school sports. And there's an agree and disagree with that. I've talked to a lot of guys who've talked to me about this, and they had questions. A lot of guys were, well, I film this and I film this and I film this and I'm filming all the time and I'm not making any money. And there's a lot of guys out there making money. I've been doing this 1 year and I've made my money back 25,000 times now. I invested $25,000, and we've made over 100. So, and I'm not even pushing the business. I mean, really, I'm not out pushing advertising at all right now. I haven't sold advertising for 2.5 months because I just don't have time. It's word of mouth, just like the Hillsdale County Economic Development. They want us to create a video for them for the industry, for high school kids. We're going to go out and film some stuff to create, and that all came off of Hillsdale TV. People see me on Hillsdale TV, and we did a couple other videos for the city of Jonesville. We do some stuff for the city of Hillsdale, and then they all compared, hey, we like using Scott. He's really easy to work with. Well, this one video, it's a 3-minute video. We're charging them $3,000 to do this video. So it's not like it's going to be a lot of editing, a lot of work. We're going to travel to these factories. We're going to have 2-3 cameras involved, So it is a lot of work, but that's all money going into the pot to continue to grow this operation. Our advertising dollars, which is how we pay for things, we sell advertising, we do advertising, we get. We're starting to pick up those advertisers, like our one of our advertisers is a couple insurance companies. We've got some banks. We've got a lot of different things that, let me play that out. We turn it down though, because it'll be really loud. But we've got a lot of different things that people, there it is. Sorry, I didn't want to blast you guys out. But we have these events and shows and everything else that, for whatever reason,
there we go.
This is one of our commercials that we run. This is from Auto Owners. They created it. Auto Owners runs with us, and we give it to them, for our video. So, we give them our video, and they pay a monthly fee, and per spot or however they want to do it. We've developed. I'm not going to give away all our sales and how we're selling so well. because there's a lot of guys that have been out selling out there for a long time and haven't been doing it well. We're gonna help them that with the Hometown Media Network. We're gonna teach you how to sell. We're gonna teach you. I run a company for 20 some years. We are the largest direct TV contractor in the Midwest with 62 trucks, and I did it out on the East Coast for a long time. That's how I know Westchester. I was the main contractor in Westchester down to from New York all the way down to South Carolina. We are the main contractor for direct TV out of there, out of Philadelphia. So I'm with Westchester, King of Prussia, Fraser, Malvern. I'll name all the spots up and down the
There's an
303
interesting
there, 301.
statistic too I wanted to throw at you, Scott, and I don't know it fully, but I was watching an episode of John Oliver on HBO, and he was talking about. So you've probably seen this show. Some Sandler television networks. They've got like 3,000 television networks across the United States, and one of the things, they've got a lot of distribution and eyeballs, and they can kind of skew the media how they want. Blah, blah,
You're
blah.
exactly
That's
right.
what he was talking about. But one of the interesting facts that he mentioned is that Americans trust local news outlets more
You're right.
than national news outlets, and advertisers know that, and now they're switching their advertising budgets to smaller, localized advertisements because they're more effective.
Well, see, Richard, you're just giving away all my secrets now.
Sorry.
Coming up in another year and a half, that's why I'm launching into more cities around me. I'm in a predicament situation where I'm at in Michigan. Lansing doesn't come down here. Detroit doesn't come here. Battle Creek doesn't come here. Toledo doesn't come here in Ohio. And South Bend, Indiana doesn't come here. So we're in this whole middle pocket where nobody comes. And I don't want to take up all your time here, but we're going to create a nightly newscast, weather, the whole 9 yards. We have the college I work at. They do radio and newspaper right now, and they do have. And just like you said, I'm an independent voter. I vote for who I feel is going to do the job. And one thing I've always said is, if we do a news story, it's got to be equal on both sides. Because yes, just like you said, they can skew. The media can skew how they want things, and it is true. People turn to their local news to get things that are relevant to local. We want to do the same thing. We're gonna partner as an internship with the college and create an online TV presence for news channel, for news broadcasting, give them some experience.
One last question from Ted. Do you have to pay the schools involved for the rights to stream or record their games? How does that work?
No, state of Michigan, it's not required. None of the schools have asked. They ask us to come in. They want us. I'm getting more emails than I can keep up with. But no, the only time we have to pay is when it goes to championships or tournaments. That's the only time the MHSA wants to get involved. Other than that, no.
Gotcha.
Scott, thank you so much for your time.
We're
bumping up on our 1 hour here. I cannot tell you how exciting this one was. It was a little bit of a curveball. I wasn't expecting a lot of that.
That's good.
We're going to advertise this as we always advertise these shows, so hopefully you'll get some affiliates and some people interested, because I really think you're on to something here. I have a few people in particular that I'm going to share this with that I know. I've got one guy down in Texas who's got a similar idea, but he just wants to build a network of churches. So this one idea is something that's really powerful that applies to so many different things. So thank you so much for coming on, Scott.
Thanks a lot.
Yep,
And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, everyone in the audience. We will see you soon. Have a great weekend.
Now I fixed this last bit there, so it should work. Almost landed on the free camera test.
Did I? Where is it?
It was pretty close. It was like right
Good
there.
for them if I do.
Oh, so close. See, now it looks like Justin Joe.
Hair goes up for the rest of the day.